Have you ever looked at your Wi-Fi router and wondered why it has so many antennas sticking out of it? Some routers have 2 antennas, some have 4, and others seem to have enough to look like a tiny spacecraft sitting on a shelf. Yet most of us never think about what those antennas actually do. If one antenna can send a wireless signal, why would a router need several? Are they just for a stronger connection, or is there a more interesting story behind them? Today, we will uncover how a simple internet box learned to talk through multiple antennas at once, right here on History of Simple Things. To understand why modern routers have multiple antennas, we first need to go back to the early days of Wi-Fi. Wireless networking became commercially available in the late 1990s when the first Wi-Fi standards were introduced. Back then, internet speeds were much slower than what we expect today. People mainly used the internet for email, simple websites, and downloading small files. Early Wi-Fi devices often had a single antenna because they did not need to handle large amounts of data. The technology worked well enough for the time, but engineers quickly realized there were limitations. One of the biggest challenges of wireless communication is that radio signals rarely travel in a straight line from a router to a device. Inside a home or office, signals bounce off walls, furniture, floors, ceilings, and even people. As these reflected signals travel through a room, they can interfere with one another. Sometimes the signal arriving at a laptop or phone becomes weaker because different versions of the same signal arrive slightly out of sync. Engineers call this phenomenon multipath interference, and for many years it was considered a major obstacle to reliable wireless communication. At first, manufacturers tried various ways to reduce these signal problems. Better antennas, stronger transmitters, and improved software all helped. But researchers eventually discovered something surprising. Instead of treating reflected signals as a problem, they could actually be turned into an advantage. This idea became one of the most important breakthroughs in modern wireless networking. The solution arrived through a technology known as MIMO, which stands for Multiple Input, Multiple Output. The concept was developed through decades of research and became widely adopted in Wi-Fi during the 2000s. Rather than relying on a single antenna to send and receive information, MIMO uses several antennas working together. Suddenly, those reflected signals bouncing around a room were no longer simply noise. They became additional pathways through which data could travel. As internet use expanded, this improvement became increasingly important. By the late 2000s and early 2010s, people were no longer just checking email. They were streaming videos, playing online games, making video calls, and connecting multiple devices to the same network. A single antenna system could struggle under these demands. Multiple antennas helped routers deliver faster speeds without requiring more radio spectrum. Another advantage involves signal reliability. A router with several antennas can listen to incoming signals from different positions. If one antenna receives a weak or distorted signal, another may receive a clearer version. The router can combine this information to improve overall performance. This technique, sometimes called diversity reception, helps maintain a stable connection even when conditions are less than ideal. You may have also heard advertisements claiming that certain routers can beam Wi-Fi directly toward your devices. This refers to another technology called beamforming. Earlier routers generally broadcast signals in all directions. While that approach works, it is not always efficient. With multiple antennas, a router can coordinate its signals so they reinforce one another in a particular direction. The result is a stronger signal reaching the intended device. It's a bit like several people pushing a swing at exactly the right moment instead of randomly. Interestingly, not all router antennas are equally visible. In the early days, external antennas were common because they were easy to manufacture and adjust. Many modern routers still use visible antennas because they can improve performance and make the product appear more powerful. However, some routers hide their antennas inside the case. Even though you cannot see them, the same principles still apply. The number of visible antennas does not always tell the whole story about a router's capabilities. The rise of smartphones added another reason for multiple antennas. Modern homes often contain dozens of connected devices. Phones, tablets, smart TVs, gaming consoles, security cameras, and smart appliances may all compete for wireless access. Newer Wi-Fi standards, including Wi-Fi 5, Wi-Fi 6, and beyond, use advanced versions of multi-antenna technology to communicate more efficiently with multiple devices at the same time. Without these improvements, today's connected households would feel much slower and more crowded online. There is also a common misconception that more antennas automatically mean better Wi-Fi. In reality, antenna count is only one part of the equation. The quality of the hardware, the wireless standard being used, software optimization, and the layout of your home all affect performance. A router with 4 well-designed antennas may outperform one with 6 poorly designed antennas. Engineers must carefully balance many factors to create a reliable wireless network. Today, those multiple antennas quietly help us stream movies, join video meetings, browse social media, play online games, and connect countless smart devices without thinking twice about it. The next time you notice a router covered in antennas, you'll know they are not there just for appearance. They are the result of decades of engineering, scientific discovery, and clever problem-solving. What looks like a few simple pieces of plastic is actually part of a sophisticated system designed to keep our digital world connected. And like so many everyday objects, the humble Wi-Fi router hides a remarkable story in plain sight. Thank you for watching. If you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of simple things. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories woven through the smallest details.